Shabbat Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Akakodas. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. To the Akwat that are listening, learn, and being a pillar of rest, the 144,001 the hopeful elect of Israel. On the brother Yahshua, I'm back with the WW3 Daily update. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to you all. Joel 3 and 2. In the King James, I also, the I is talking about the Most High Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which is Western Asia, West Asia, right? And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Right? Who parted the land? Whoever's down there fighting over it. You got people calling themselves Philistines. They're not the Philistines. You're Ishmaelites. You got people there calling themselves everything except for who they really are. You're Amalek. You're the Edomites, the head tribe. Trying to say that you're the chosen, you're not. Okay? But the point I'm getting at is I will also gather what? All nations, right? All nations, all the nations. I will gather the armies of all nations, the armies of the world. Okay? This is what's being spoken of. See, when you gather all nations, what are you doing? You're having the Olympics, right? But when you gather all armies of the world, that's World War III. See that? Don't be distracted. I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. There I will judge them for harming my people, my special possession, for scattering my people among the nations, and for dividing up my land. Who's dividing up the land? The Edomites and the Ishmaelites. Okay? The same ones who divided up the children of Israel in the transatlantic slave trade, right? Ham sold them, right, into who? To the Ishmaelites and the Edomites. Simple as that. That's who's dividing up the land, dividing the spoils, right? Anyway, we're going to let these two give a little update. 5 hours ago, the Duran, West exhausted, like West what? The Western world. Ukraine losing, NATO refuses peace. What's going on in the world, right? Well, we're at the end. Take it away, Alexander.
All right, Alexander, let's do an update on what is going on in Ukraine. Maybe we start with what is happening on the front lines. More collapse is happening across the entire front line. And we now have the Zelensky administration talking about negotiations, hinting at the possibility that Ukrainians will have to accept territorial loss. And they're talking about a second peace summit, which will have to include Russia. Though Russia, they're not taking any of these statements from the Zelensky regime very seriously at all. But let's start with the front lines, and then we'll talk about what's happening in Kiev.
Indeed, and can I just say, I mean, just on the eve of making this program, there's been pretty dramatic news from the front lines. There's now reports that the supply roads, the main supply road to the fortified town of Vuhledar in the south of Donbass, has now been cut, that the Russians have broken in, taken control of very large stretches of the road. And it looks as if Vuhledar is likely to be effectively encircled within a few weeks, or even at the rate that things are going, in a few days. So that's one major development. There's another major development on another part of the front lines, which is close to the strategic town of Pokrovsk. Pokrovsk is a town in central Donbass. It's in the sort of general area where Avdiivka, the place that the Russians captured in February, is located. It's the major logistical hub of the Ukrainians. So it's where the supplies that arrive from the west, they're sent across the Dnieper from Dnipro, they're then sent to Pakrovsk, and then from Pakrovsk they're distributed amongst the various military forces along the front lines, Ukrainian defense forces along the front lines. Anyway, the Russians are now literally a few kilometers from Pakrovsk, and this morning there are reports that a Ukrainian force has been encircled close to Pakrovsk in a village called Zelanye. If the Russians capture Pakrovsk, it will be an absolute disaster for the Ukrainians. Not only will they lose their main supply point in Donbass, but there are even some commentators who are saying that in effect the entire Ukrainian forces in Donbass will be split into two. The Russians will have in effect divided them, and beyond Pakrovsk the way is basically open for.
Okay, yeah, whatever. We know that Russia's in full control of that conflict. So let's quickly, I'm going to type in Israel waiting for Iranian bombs to drop, right? How about that? Let's see what comes up here. 2 days, 14 hours, 1 day. Okay, 1 day. Okay. Iran, its proxies plan to attack Israel on Tisha B'Av, says report. Is that right? Okay. Iran to attack Israel. Israel waits for Iran attack. Okay. Here we go. Israel's defense explained. That's 3 months ago. 2 days. Israelis told to prepare bomb shelters as Iran vows revenge for the death of Hamas Hezbollah leaders. Now, you know what? I want to show this real quick because what was I watching yesterday? They kept showing the same thing over and over. They kept showing the truth about what's going on over there, and kind of slowly. You know what it was? It was Danny Haiphong. Let me find that. And what they kept showing, it was like running on a loop. Where's that? Yesterday. Danny. Bear with me. Let me look this up. Because if you're only getting half of the news, what are you doing, right? That's what you have to base your surmisings, if you will. Let's see. It's Danny Haiphong. Let's see where you at here, Danny. And they kept showing over and over what I've been trying to say, right? Looking crazy because they're withholding it. Let me see. I might just have to go to this. There we go. I don't even know. It might not be Danny Haiphong. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. It was some big old long thing. Oh, I might not be able to find it now, though. It wasn't Forbes. What was it? Salakia, bear with. What was that thing I was watching? Bear with me for a moment. We are not the true church. Let's see. Remnant Daily, GMS, Riverside. I know it was longer than this, so that can't be it. I know he said it, but it was other people that were saying it too. And they kept saying it, so that's what I'm looking for. And although I don't see it, I might have to go with Danny on that. Might be this. I think this is it. So it's Y on. Let me see if I can find it. Bear with me. Look at that. Live stream recording is not available. Yeah, right. Well, they kept showing it over and over and over. I might have to find out where that is. So they took it down because they were giving up that truth. Let me go to Danny High Phone. I'm going to let him say it once. If I can find him again. Where was I? Bear with me. There was that. And then Danny was what? Right here. Let me see if he said coming out. Not this. It should be the first thing he says. So let's see what he's going to say.
Economy.
Slovakia.
Before I get you in here, Jill, I just want to correct myself. It's Ismail Haniyeh,
All right, let's see what he
a
said.
negotiator for Hamas, a top leader in their Politburo, assassinated in Iran on July 31st. And then before that, we had Israel, just the day before, bombing Beirut in reaction to a very suspicious strike on the Golan Heights,
2.
which killed 12 people, many of them young people.
Now listen to what he says right here.
Now we are also getting unconfirmed reports about a possible IRGC commander, Iranian commander, killed in Damascus. Sound familiar? Back in April, something of this sort happened.
Now, why are they saying that about 3? 3 commanders, right? While they're only reporting on 2.
Which led to an Iranian operation to deter Israel from further attacking. It was an Israeli attack on the embassy in Damascus back in April of 2024.
That was the first one, but one just happened a couple of days ago.
These are unconfirmed reports so far, but Michael, maybe we can turn to you. You know, how do you see it based on your geopolitical and economic analysis, this kind of spiraling, it seems, of Israel broadening this war to a regional and global level? Because, of course, we are also entering the 1-year point. We're getting very close to that.
Okay, so he said that Israel is widening this into a regional war. Well, when you add the fact that they assassinated a high-level official in Damascus as well as in Beirut, as well as in Tehran, okay? Damascus, the capital city of Syria. Where's that at? Let me go back to, let me find Y on again. Let me go through here. Let me see if I can find it in
day of the Jewish calendar. It falls on the 9th day of Av, which is on August 13th.
Slovakia. Let me see if I can find somewhere where they actually say that. I know this is a fishing expedition. This is all live. Look, all live. Wyan is all live. I'm not going to find it. Let's see. Videos. Yeah, they're not going to say it in here. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and close it because they're not going to. Yeah, these are all live, going live right now. But they will, you know, they have put out that, you know, over and over that there were 3
Have you ever?
Heads of state, if you will, assassinated, and that makes a big difference.
So I think this is well within the common pattern of exchanges between Israel and Hezbollah.
Archaeologists you speak of how this is a common pattern of fire exchanges between Israel and Hezbollah. But Israel at this point of time is fighting at two fronts, one with Hamas and one with Hezbollah. Do you think that, how do you rather assess Israel's preparedness while it
Yeah, and they said one Hamas, two Hezbollah. What about Iran? Where did that assassination take place? In Iran. So why are you leaving that out? And the IRGC, that brigadier general was killed in Damascus. IRGC, he's Iranian. Okay, so you're leaving that out. It might be up in here, but we're not going to go after it. It's out there, and they're sweeping it under the rug. They're only giving you half the story. Anyway, let's see. What are we getting on the way out of here? Yeah, they're being gathered in the valley of the Ahawashaphat. Simple as that. Let's just go to Joel. And proclaim ye this among the Gentiles: prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. This is not turning around. There's not going to be a peace agreement. They're going to keep fighting until there's nothing left to fight. When Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai comes and sweeps up, all right, the besom of destruction. All right. So with that, we hope that the elector edified you, brothers and sisters. Shabbat Shalom.